Welcome to the Autism and Neurodiversity Podcast.
We're here to bring you helpful information from leading experts and give you effective tools and support. I'm Jason Grigla, a licensed counselor and founder of Techie for Life, a specialized mentoring program for neurodiverse young adults.
And I'm Debbie Grigla, a certified life coach. And maybe most importantly, we're also parents to our own atypical young adults. Friends, hello, welcome. I'm glad you're here. Because today I want to talk to you about the secret to building your child, your teen, or your young adult's confidence, especially if they're autistic or neurodivergent or have other unique struggles and challenges. One of the greatest basketball players of all time was the late Kobe Bryant. Did you know at one time he had upwards of 1,000 more missed shot attempts than any other player in NBA history? Now, why is this significant? Because his confidence didn't come because he always made his shots. It takes a lot of confidence to make that many missed shots, to fail to score that many times, more than any other players in the league, and not give up. Our children, our teens, and our young adults fail a lot. Our autistics and our ADHDers and neurodivergents, they fail even more in certain areas. There's an important secret to building their confidence. And I'm not talking about the kind of confidence that has to do with things that they're already good at. I'm talking about their self-confidence to try things that they're not good at. Building their self-confidence impacts whether they're even willing to try things. So many of our students that come to our school, Techie for Life, where we mentor autistic and neurodivergent young adults and help them with adult teen and their next steps and find their educational career path. So many of them do not want to even try. Like they've had so many fails and so many bad experiences that they don't even want to try new things. And they're really good at getting it out of them or avoiding them or coming up with rationalizations for why they don't want to even try it. Building self-confidence impacts how they try, like how they actually show up and attempt things, what they bring to it. Kobe Bryant brought incredible determination. He came, he showed up, he learned, he adjusted, he got coaching, he received feedback. I mean, to be able to perform at that level, that he was willing to do whatever it took to be able to do well. Building self-confidence impacts their ability to actually develop in general, to develop basic skills and then to just overall develop as a person. Building their self-confidence helps them succeed. And for some of them to be able to succeed despite their disabilities. There's many very successful people with disabilities in our world, and they have been able to succeed even though they have disabilities or big odds against them. And many parents are inadvertently contributing to lowering self-confidence, and it's keeping children, teens, and young adults stuck. When you help them build their self-confidence, you help them live into their future instead of hiding from it. And so I want to talk to you about how you can do this. And one of the big secrets to really building their self-confidence, being able to support them in developing that self-confidence. The secret is it's time to embrace fails. When you try to prevent your young person from failing right? When you try to prevent them from failing all the time, you send the message that fails are bad. But fails are how we learn what doesn't work. If they learn that fails are bad, they can't learn the lessons of fails. They learn shame. If fails are bad and I fail, then I'm bad. I must be bad. Something's wrong with me. I'm broken. Now, this can come in to show up in some more subtle, nuanced ways. If you overprotect your child, your teen, your young adult, if you try to protect them from making mistakes, they will never get the practice that they need to be able to develop. I am not a fan of preventing a child from having a smartphone. Now, there's certain times and under certain circumstances, but when I hear someone say blanket, I'm not giving my kid a smartphone until they're 18, I think, oh, wow, that's going to be a little rough when they are now an adult out of your home and have to learn how to manage themselves on that device. And they are going to get a smartphone. Like, they become an adult, they're going to go get one. They'll pay for that probably over anything else that they pay for with their job. So wouldn't it be better if they were in your home, being able to practice learning how to manage themselves on it and making lots of mistakes with it, and then learning how to actually do well with it? So that's just one example, right? It's really important to remember that and to understand that doing it right is not the goal. It's not really the big goal here. And when we're looking at the big picture, doing it right isn't the goal. Learning how to learn is the big goal. What worked? What didn't? We're talking like scientific method kind of stuff here. How to be successful is learning how to do the process, which means lots and lots of fails, lots and lots of experimenting and trying different things. And then testing it, right? Testing it, you try it. Okay, that didn't work, but that kind of worked. So now if I do a little more of that, and then we try again, and we keep going. The goal isn't to get it right. The goal is to support their self-confidence, their belief in themselves that they can figure it out, or that they can find out how to figure it out, or that they can go to someone and ask for help for how to figure it out, and that they can figure it out and it's worth the hard work and time and effort that it takes sometimes to figure it out. That's so much more valuable and more important than getting it right. So how do we really do this? How do you really go in and support building your young person's self-confidence? There's some key things that I think can really make a big difference that I want to offer to you that I have learned over the years. And I've made mistakes in all these areas and have learned how quickly some of these things can make a big impact for your loved one. I highly encourage you to offer empathy, okay? When they make a mistake, when they fail, when it doesn't go like they thought it would, we want to offer empathy, but not in a rushed way. Okay, do not rush this. Don't rush through empathy to tell them how to do it better or to correct them. We want to be with them in that fail. We want to help them co-regulate and learn how to manage their emotions, the negative emotions that come up when things don't go like they wanted it to, or when they feel embarrassed, okay? We don't want to rush this. This is an important part of learning, and being able to sit with and tolerate and have someone be with you in that fail, that experience is so powerful. So when you're looking at supporting self-confidence, we want to offer a lot of empathy, emotional co-regulation as they're stumbling along. Another important piece of this is that we have a tendency to focus on the outcome. Well, here's the goal, so we got to get that goal. And yay, you did it. You got you scored the goal. You you shot the shot and you made the basket and you scored the point, yay, and we focus on that like result, that outcome. But I want to encourage you that if you want to build self-confidence, you want to praise their efforts. You want to praise their courage for taking the shot, their hard work in practicing and developing the fundamentals, like, like if they were playing basketball, for example. You want to praise their efforts. You want to praise their work ethic. You want to praise their determination, not just getting the score or the point or the check mark. And then this next point goes along with that. It's along the same lines. I actually encourage you to delight in their fail. Actually delight in it. And delight in their learning in the process. I recently saw an interview clip with Kobe Bryant, and he talked about how if you focus on winning or if you focus on not losing, you're not going to do as well. That he actually focused on the game, like on the process, in the moment. He was focused on what he was doing in that moment. And I think truly, if you watch him play, he delighted in that. He delighted in playing basketball. And it was not so much about winning or losing. It was about being capable and skilled at playing basketball. So we want to detach ourselves from the score. We want to detach ourselves from our child winning the game or getting this certain outcome or doing well on their grades at school or whatever it might be. And we want to delight in their process, in the experience of what they're going through and doing. We want to actually delight in their fails. It can be really funny. It can be entertaining. It can be like, wow, oh my gosh, I failed so bad at this. And it's a way that we can actually connect to them. And when we share our fails and we delight in our fails, I tried to do this thing and I totally thought I could do it. And then I went to do it and I just was terrible at it. And we laugh and we laugh at how bad it was. And then we connect over that, right? But I went for it, right? And I'm still valid. I'm still a good person. I'm still worthwhile, even though I failed miserably at something. If you've ever made pancakes, usually your first pour to make the first pancake of the batch comes out so terrible. I don't know why that is. I've made pancakes over and over and over the years, but that first one is just like, it either gets undercooked or overcooked, or it's messy or like lumpy. I don't know what the deal is with that first pancake, but we can totally laugh. Like, who wants the reject first pancake? It doesn't mean I'm terrible or bad person because I can't make a pancake, or that the second one I make won't be as, will be terrible too, right? It's just failing. It's part of the process of making pancakes, is you're probably going to have some ones that don't come out as beautiful and nice and shaped nicely and cooked just right. So delight in their fails. And really, if you're catching the theme of what I'm saying, it's really be with them in the process. Be with them in it. Let go of the urge to rush it, to fix it, to make them feel better about it. Be with them in it. Be with them in the misery sometimes. Like, oh my gosh, this is so hard. You are really struggling. I'm so sorry that this is so hard, that it's not coming to you as easy as you'd like. I know you care about this and you want to do well. This is really tough, right? Like, be with them in it. Let go of the urge to rush in and fix it, or tell them how to do it better, or take some of the discomfort away. But be with them in it. And it shows that you have confidence in them to get through it. It shows that you're not afraid of, or that you're disappointed in them for failing. Like, it's saying, I'm with you in it. This is part of the process and it's okay. And I'm with you in it. We're going to be okay. Your worth, my love for you, has nothing to do with how well you perform or don't perform. And I'm not going to be disappointed in you if you fail. But I'm going to be with you in the disappointment, because it is disappointing to fail. It is challenging. It's frustrating. It's stressful sometimes. And I can hold that with you. I can be with you in that discomfort. You're not alone. And maybe in all of this, simply know when they know that you are there for them and you have their back in those fails, that they don't have to do this by themselves. They're not going to be judged for those fails. I mean, that's the stuff of some real self-confidence. Like, I'm going to be okay. That helps them kind of borrow our confidence in them and start to have that become their self-concept, is that they are confident and they can do things. And they're willing to be terrible until they can figure out and learn it. And as you're parenting, it's the same thing. If you're willing to be terrible at it, when you're trying out new tools or new approaches and it doesn't quite go like you think it will the first time, and you keep at it, you're willing to suck at it and then keep at it and keep trying and laugh at yourself when it doesn't work. Maybe the first time you try to offer empathy, like really offer it, and they're like, what are you doing? Like, sometimes it might just feel really awkward or uncomfortable if you're not used to offering empathy, for example. But we as parents, if we're willing to suck it up, if we're willing to be terrible and fail at things, if we're willing to share our own fails with our kids and still love ourselves in those fails and not be afraid to share our fails and our insecurities with our kids, we are modeling self-confidence. And we're actually building our own self-confidence in that process. So let's get out there and take some shots and miss a bunch and learn from them and do it with self-confidence. I hope you have an amazing week. Take care. Thanks for joining us on this episode of Autism and Neurodiversity with Jason and Debbie. If you want to learn more about our work, come visit us at jasondebbie.com. That's JASONDEBBIE.com.